Hi everyone, and welcome to the Writer's Table. Today we're going to go over beat sheets. It's basically an outline of your work. So think about in school when you were told to look at a book and break down, bullet out the major points of that book so that you could do a presentation for class, so you could explain it better. That's essentially what we're doing here, because improv is
education.
One of the coolest things about improv, and I say that a lot, there are a lot of cool things about improv. Obviously, you use so much of your mind for improv, and in improv there are so many aspects, or using your education or weird things you know in a scene. Writing these sketches are one of the cool things that you can do with all that weird information. With a beat sheet, you're essentially just writing it out. That's all you're doing. You're writing out the sketch. So like, let's say you were performing a scene with your friends or with your troupe, then you would take a look at that scene and you would break it apart and really bullet it down. Let's say that two of your improvisers are up on scene and they get a suggestion. And the suggestion is paper. They start going off of the scene, and person A, call her Jill. Jill starts her scene and she's
flying a paper airplane.
And then Rob comes up and Rob says,
"You know, I used to ride a plane and it was so weak it felt like paper."
And then Jill said,
"Well, that's funny. You must be able to fly this pretty well then."
So Rob goes,
"Oh yeah, I got this."
And he starts flying the paper and it falls down. Jill says,
"Huh, I thought you said you could fly."
Then Rob goes even higher and he says,
"Yeah, I can make it fly."
So he jumps on top of a table and he tries to get momentum with the airplane and he makes it fly again and it falls again. Jill says,
"Yeah, you have nothing. Like, see? Like, I knew it. You were lying. You never flew a plane. You don't even know how to fly a paper airplane."
And then Rob goes,
Just wait, I got this.
So then he climbs on top of a building and he's like,
"I got this, Jill. I'm gonna make it fly."
Jill's like,
"Be careful, Rob. Don't fall down."
So Rob goes, flies the paper airplane picks him up and he flies down with it and he lands perfectly. Jill's like,
"Wow, Rob, you were right. You can fly."
Rob's like,
Yeah, I told you I could.
so that's an example of a totally improvised scene. What are the major points of that scene? Let's name this paper thin. A lot of improv writing has to do with just being able to remember what's going on. So much of what we do is improvised and we go through so much of it all the time that we tend to lose a lot of what we've done before. That's why we film what we've performed, and that makes it easier to make your beat sheet so you can really clean it up later. It's why we write a lot of what we do down on your paper so far. Now we come up with what are some of the major points that happen in that scene. Let's say we're making it like an outline, the introduction, and it's a lot like your plot arch as well. We work with the exposition, then we go with the game of the scene or the rising action, the climax, and the conclusion and moral of the story. Jill flies a paper airplane. Next, what happens? Rob talks about flying real plane. Next, the game really happens and the what of the scene happens, and Jill kind of entices Rob to show off what he can do with airplanes. Rob tries to fly paper airplane. And underneath we're going to make sub-bullets, and that's going to be the game of the scene. And I talk about the game a lot. We'll talk about in future episodes what a game is, but for now just think about it as those things that happen that kind of build the tension or build what's going on in the scene before we get to the climax or the big moment of the scene. What, like, the answer to what happens. Like, does Rob succeed? Yes or no? And we're gonna find out. So you see here how the bullets kind of go in a little bit, they're indented. So that just lets me know from my perspective, or if anyone else is reading it, it's part of that main section, which is him trying to fly the paper airplane. He tries to fly the airplane, that's the game. And you can write in between as well, like little notes like Jill chastises him, Jill pokes fun at him throughout. Whatever you want to notate in there, it's up to you, but all we really have to know is that Rob is trying over and over again to fly that paper airplane. Then we get to the conclusion. So what we're going to write for this is Rob does it. So conclusion, Rob does it. So we're just answering yes, we want him to succeed. Can this change later on? Yeah, but for now, based off of how the improvised scene went, just to notate what happened, because he succeeded in the scene, we're going to notate that he succeeded in this beat sheet. Let's say that we wanted to make a moral, like why did it interest you? Maybe the moral of the story is like, or what it means to you is like, hey, don't push someone too hard because you never know if they're going to take it too seriously. So let's write that down. That's how you write a beat sheet. It's super simple. Essentially, the way it should work is that you'll be able to do it really quickly. So this whole process should take you 2 minutes. And you can really clean it up, write it out as a script, and write as many versions as you want and bring it back to your troupe and show them, hey guys, I really liked your scene and these are the points that stood out to me the most. Something that I really want to see from you guys, there are a couple ways that we can play this out. I really want to start playing with you guys, and if you want to show me your beat sheet and have us act it out, that would be awesome. Maybe we could even do, we have Sketch Thursdays, so we could perform it for Sketch Thursday. That would be a lot of fun. And if you wanted to perform your own beat sheet, sketch something out, perform it for us, tag us, show us what you've done, that would be awesome as well, because everyone comes up with something completely different. And I want to see what weird stuff goes on in your brain. Thanks for joining me at the writer's table. I hope to see you again next week.